From Grillstream, becoming one of the biggest barbecue brands after getting rejected, to Rachel, who's worth more than $90 million after the Dragons insulted her, here are Dragon's Den's biggest missed opportunities. Sure, the Dragons are experts, but even experts mess up sometimes, such as the time they dismissed the Grillstream. For those of you who don't know, Grillstream's a super easy-to-clean barbecue tray that stops those pesky oils from dripping down and causing fiery disasters. The creators, Ian Wharton and Peter Neath, went on Dragon's Den and asked for £120,000 in exchange for 15% of their company. The Dragons thought it was a cool idea, but they weren't convinced it would make enough moolah on its own, so they passed on the investment. But Grillstream didn't let that get them down. After their Dragon's Den appearance, they licensed their product to a bunch of manufacturers, including Leisure Grow, a UK company that makes all sorts of cool home and garden stuff. Their pitch on the show got people really interested, and Grillstream became a huge hit in the UK. They even started selling it at Canadian Tire, a massive home store chain in Canada. They didn't stop at one product. They expanded their lineup, and now they're one of the biggest barbecue brands in the UK. So, they're rocking it. And even though the Dragons didn't invest, Grillstream turned things around using their TV fame to score some sweet licensing deals. But that wasn't the only goldmine the Dragons gave up. There was also the Tangle teaser. Back in 2007, Sean Pullfrey got into a tense situation on an episode. He was super nervous as he took his innovative new hairbrush and ran it through the hair of a headless mannequin. Yeah, it raised some eyebrows among the panel. They were like, "What's this guy doing?" Well, Sean was trying to show off the brush's smooth glide motion. But let's just say he was grunting and pushing that mannequin head around, and it didn't exactly make the best impression. The panel thought his idea was a bit harebrained, so they turned him down when he asked for £80,000. But Sean didn't let that stop him. Later on, his hairbrush got some serious love from famous peeps like Victoria Beckham and Cara Delevingne. And in 2016, Sean was even named Entrepreneur of the Year. So yeah, even though things started off a bit weird for Sean, he made a name for himself with his awesome hairbrush. You know what's the most annoying part of Dragon's Den? It's when the Dragons agree on a deal, and it still doesn't work out. This happened with Skinny Dip when they burst onto the scene in 2011. They were all about making cool and funky phone cases, headphones, and other tech accessories. They had their sights set on being the go-to brand for trendy tech stuff, and the founders, Louis Blitz, James, and Richard Gold, appeared on the show, hoping to get a £120,000 investment for a 20% stake in their business. They even caught the attention of a dragon, Peter Jones. But sadly, the deal never came together. You know what, though? That didn't stop Skinny Dip from achieving success. Nope! They kept hustling, and now they have over 8 physical stores. Plus, they've teamed up with big fashion names like River Island, Harvey Nichols, and ASOS. Now that's what I call leveling up. Not to mention, they've expanded their offerings to clothing and all sorts of lifestyle goodies. They're all about that fashion-forward, quirky vibe, and people are loving it. But if you're surprised at the heights they reached, you might want to take a seat for Trunky's journey. Back in 2006, Rob Law had this genius idea for ride-on suitcases for kids, but he didn't have great luck pitching it to the Dragons. Peter Jones called his idea worthless, and they even advertised it as wheelie rubbish. Ouch! But guess what? The tables turned real quick. Just hours after the show aired, Trunky was completely sold out online. Within 2 years of appearing on the show, Law had secured a sweet $200K investment for just a 10% stake in his company. Not too shabby, right? Fast forward to 2018, and Law's brand was killing it. They had an insane turnover of £9.5 million and had won over 100 design awards. Their awesome trunk key cases were even being sold at John Lewis, a big-time retailer. And now, over a decade later, Rob has gone and sold his company's holding company, Magmatic, to an e-commerce company called Heroes. The estimated sale was a cool $12 million, and he's expected to pocket $7 million from it. Cha-ching! Rob Law knew what he was getting into when he went on that show. He understood they wanted some dramatic TV, and he took a risk, but he's got a great outlook on it. He said, "Any publicity is good publicity, even if things go wrong." And you know, he wasn't the only one who got bigger sponsors than the Dragons. Take Oppo Ice Cream, for instance. Back in 2016, brothers Harry and Charlie Thulier had this brilliant idea for a low-calorie, guilt-free ice cream range. They were pumped to get £60,000 in exchange for just 7% of their business. So, they went to Dragon's Den, hoping to make a deal. But you know what happened? They left the den empty-handed. The experts thought the potential reward just wasn't worth the risk, but even though they didn't get an investment, their time on the show turned out to be a game changer. It was like a 10-minute commercial for their brand. The brothers said they were trending as the 16th most searched term on Google UK. That too for the entire weekend after the episode aired. Their ice cream flew off the shelves at Waitrose and Ocado, the only two places they were stocked at the time. Sales skyrocketed, and people were buzzing about their brand. Fast forward to now, and Harry and Charlie Thulier have it all figured out. They've got a whole bunch of delicious flavors, and their ice cream is available in 13 countries. Later, Harry even gave some advice to future hopefuls. He said Dragon's Den is a different beast. It's more combative than your usual investment conversation. And hey, it's also about entertainment, so keep that in mind. But wait, this next one's for all the foodies out there. Let me tell you about the Pasta Evangelists, because when its founders stepped into the Dragon's Den, they brought their A-game. Wearing chef hats and speaking Italian, they were ready to pitch their pasta delivery service with flair. And honestly speaking, I really thought they'd get the money, but the Dragons weren't won over by their authenticity or their offer, and chose not to invest in the business. Don't get too disappointed though, because Alex Savelli and Finn Lagun didn't let that rejection stop them. Their sales doubled after their appearance on the show, and they still got what they wanted without having to give away any of their business. Plus, they went on to secure a whopping £3.5 million in funding from private investors, which they used to expand their business even further and offer over 30 types of artisanal pasta. Their fresh pasta subscription boxes were super popular, and even TV celebrities like Bake Off's Prue Leith became customers. That said, you know I can't possibly go on without talking about the wonders of the Destination board games. The Dragons really messed up with their judgment on this one. Back in 2004, Rachel Lowe had a fantastic idea for a board game centered around being a black cab driver. She went on the show seeking a £75,000 investment from the Dragons, but the Dragons didn't want to take a risk and criticized Rachel for not being well prepared during her pitch. They even compared her to a lamb going to slaughter. It was a harsh blow to Rachel's confidence. But things turned out differently in the end because, despite not receiving any investment, Rachel had already struck a deal with Hamleys the toy store. And within months, her game, Destination London, became a massive hit. It outsold even the mighty Monopoly and became Hamleys' best-selling game that year. Rachel didn't stop there, though. She went on to launch an impressive 21 different versions of her game. Her creativity and determination paid off, and she was recognized for her achievements when she received an MBE from the Queen in 2009. That's quite an honor. And here's the cherry on top. Rachel's current net worth is estimated to be £96 million. So there you have it. From Rachel, who's worth more than $90 million after the Dragons insulted her, to Grillstream becoming one of the biggest barbecue brands after getting rejected. Those were Dragon's Den's biggest missed opportunities.